Alright, guys, so 35 years after the original, we finally get a sequel to a movie that was very polarizing during its release back in 1982, but now since has garnered a cult classic following, which it very much deserves. Because the sequel to that classic movie is truly something magnificent. So, Blade Runner 2049 was a film that from this year I was very curious about and I was interested in seeing it. Now, this is of course directed by Denis Villeneuve, however you say his name, Villenueve, and is written by Hampton, Fancher, and Michael Green, and stars Ryan Gosling, Harrison Ford, Ana de Armas, Sylvia Hoeks, Mackenzie Davis, Robin Wright, and Jared Leto, and Dave Bautista. And like I said, this is a 35-year-long sequel to the original classic. And before I go into the movie, let me just say right now that I was looking forward to the movie because I thought the trailer looked cool and it had a really interesting premise going on for it. Now, the first Blade Runner I never saw before until before this movie came out, which I really enjoyed. I loved the first Blade Runner. I was actually surprised on how good it was with just one watch. I know people would say it takes more than one watch to understand the movie, but for me, because I went in completely cold and not knowing a whole lot, I actually really got a lot of the interesting plot and themes of the movie. I know a lot of people say the production was trouble, and yeah, the production was trouble, but it was really good. And when I heard that there was a sequel to Blade Runner, I was like, really? What's Blade Runner about? And so I decided to check this movie out before watching this one, just to make sure I knew I was what I was getting myself into. But how is Blade Runner 2049? Well, let's get into the story. So the basic story is we have a new Blade Runner named Officer K, played by Ryan Gosling, and he works for the Los Angeles Police Department in the year 2049, and he's on an investigation to uncover this secret that may destroy what little is left of society. And so in order to help him do this, he has to go find the original Blade Runner, who has went into hiding for 35 years, named Rick Deckard, once again played by Harrison Ford. And then we have a lot of twists and turns, a lot of surprises, and that's basically as simple as the plot as I can give, because I don't want to ruin it for anyone who wants to see this movie at all. And basically, I shouldn't. So, now, what do I think of this new Blade Runner sequel was? You know what? I knew that this movie was going to be good, not because the trailers were so impressive, but also because of the director and because you got the original writer from the first one back. And also, the first Blade Runner movie is so great that it literally just sucks you into the world and environment. I know some people who has never seen the movie before. Again, I'm gonna say it right now. It takes more than one watch for the original Blade Runner, but me only seen it once, which was twice, which was the theatrical version and the final cut. I'm not gonna tell you how I watched them or this one. I really enjoyed the first Blade Runner. I reviewed it back on my channel just to get ready for this movie. And I have to say that Blade Runner 2049 might be my new third, fourth, or fifth or sixth favorite movie of 2017. Yes, this movie was that good. Not only from a technical aspect, but also story wise, character wise, plot wise, and just I really enjoyed myself with this one. I'm not gonna get into a whole lot of spoilers because I don't want to give anything away. You need to judge this movie for yourself. But let me just say right now that this is not an action movie. I feel like I need to say that again because I feel like that I haven't really explained myself fully. This is not an action movie. Don't go into this film expecting a whole lot of action because you're not gonna get a whole lot. You're not gonna get a big CGI set piece. You're not gonna get Blade going off against Dracula or anything like that. No, no, no. This is a psychological science fiction action thriller with action scenes in it, but it's carried through with good character development, great performances, great acting, and great, impressive, visual, stunning, beautiful cinematography. First, where do I start? Let me just say that the visual effects in here, the way the world looks, the production design looks very well crafted. The production designers, you could tell that Denis Villeneuve loves the original Blade Runner and he wanted to honor it and also do something different with it. And this sequel is not a retread, is not a remake, it's its own standalone film that takes place in the universe. And the production design, the way the future look, 2049 and the future looks is visually breathtaking, is visually stunning, is really, really well crafted, well handled, well beautifully shot, with some amazing cinematography by Roger Deakins. Roger Deakins is an awesome cinematographer. He's made some really good, beautiful cinematography. He's been nominated more than once for an Academy Awards. I'm going to say right now, if this movie does not get any nominations, even for Best Cinematography from Roger Deakins, Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, it is on. The cinematography in here is beautiful. Every single shot and frame, how the camera tricks are created. This movie sucks you in completely. It's vast, is beautifully shot. The scenes in this movie, especially the one scene where Ryan Gosling is going through a hologram and the hologram points at him. The visual aspect of this movie looks really good, and the script dialogue is well written. You got great dialogue. You got amazing character development for all of your characters. And my recommendation before watching this movie, watch the first Blade Runner and then watch the three little shorts that they released prior to the movie's release, because I think those will help you understand some more stuff. Now, let me just say that the music in here, the sound mixing is really good. I love the sound mixing in here. The music by Hans Zimmer and Benjamin Wesley, however you say his name, is really well done. I will have all my stuff linked down in the comments because I'm trying something new in my description box. But the music was great. Sound mixing is great. There is little homages to the original here and there, but they don't throw everything in your face. And they don't mention Rutger Hauer. They don't mention a whole lot from the first one. They're just little Easter eggs and little references from that first movie. So I can simply say that about the movie. And the movie, I know a lot of people has complained about this movie being too long, but 2 hours and 43 minutes is not going to kill you. To sit through a movie that is well shot, well acted, well directed, so with some amazing action set pieces, the action sequences, for what action is in the movie, it is there and is shot well. There's no shaky cam. There's no Michael Bay bull crap. There's no lens flare bull crap. You can actually see what the heck is going on in the action scenes, and I can tell you that right now. Now, what else is there for me to talk about? Well, I can say it from a technical point of view. The movie, again, is visually breathtaking. Is well shot. Is well executed. Well produced, and everything is just like very crafted in here. Now, I do have some issues with this movie. Only a few, but they're more like nitpicks. But I'll get to it. Well, the acting in Blade Runner 2049 is pretty entertaining for the most part, and the character growth of each of these characters go through and the emotional way that they have is fascinating. It really is. You got Ryan Gosling as K, aka Joe, and he's fantastic in here. I've always liked Ryan Gosling as an actor. I love The Notebook. I've never seen Drive, but the man can pull off a great performance, and he is just magnificent in this movie. Then you also get Harrison Ford in here. He is in this movie, and no, guys, for those who were disappointed that he got killed off in The Force Awakens, he does not die here. He does not die here. He's really good in here as Rick Deckard, the original Blade Runner. He does come in to the hour and a half mark, and when you do see him, the scenes between him and Ryan Gosling are really what shines the most. Then we have the gorgeous and lovely Ana de Armas as the hologram Joy, and she is a hologram. Also, love interest of Kay, and I like the relationship in here between Ana. Yeah, she may be a hologram, but she wants to be real. She feels human emotions, and I like that. I like the direction that they carried her in, and she's really cool, really great in here. I think she's very amazing here. I have seen Ana de Armas in the movie Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves and her and Lorenza Izzo, and that was a bad movie, but she was one of the best things in it. I will say that much. I haven't seen her in War Dogs yet. I have yet to see War Dogs, but I will be checking it out soon. You also got Sylvia Hoeks as Love, and she's really good in here. I will say that. She is fantastic. She's magnificent. You also got Robin Wright in here as Lieutenant Josie. I will say that the villain in this movie, she's alright. She's kind of like an SJW feminist thing, but I thought the actress who plays the villain is magnificent, and I will say that. Carla Juri is also pretty gorgeous as well. The women in here, they don't wear anything us boys do. They wear feminine clothes, and they feel emotions just like the men feel emotions, and that is pretty cool. There's a lot of twists and turns that's going on in this movie, and you will see that the hero's journey is not always a happy one. So in this movie, lots of movies have shown that a hero's journey is not always easy, especially if you're a human character. He's not some superhero. He's not a guy with a lightsaber or anything. Ryan Gosling's character. He goes through hell in this movie. He gets beaten. He's vulnerable in this movie, and that's what vulnerability doesn't mean weak, Kathleen Kennedy. Vulnerability does not mean weak, especially with a woman. That's just making you feel more bad for her. I may like Melissa Benoist's Supergirl, but she also, so she may be a superhero, but she also has vulnerability to her. And all the acting is great for the most part, and I really enjoyed the acting. I love the soundtrack. This movie gets you sucked in by the time you are watching this movie, and this movie, it does take a little while to get going. I will say that. But for the whole 2 hours and 43-minute mark, if you can sit there and be entertained and so vastly entertaining to the world, let me tell you something. I like a movie that makes you think. Sure, I'll watch a bad movie once in a while and I will end up hating the bad movie or also liking the bad movie as a guilty pleasure, even though I know it's a piece of crap. But I like movies that are handled with care and handled with hard work and dedication. And you can tell there's a lot of hard work, dedication, and a lot of entertaining value into this movie. And none of that is wasted here. All of it is just done perfectly, handled correctly. I love every single aspect of this movie. Now, I do have a few complaints about this movie, and I will get into them. For one, you have Dave Bautista, and Dave Bautista is in here as the character. I forgot the character's name, but he's in here. I like his character, but the only problem is that he's barely in this movie for for a few minutes. And I understand it. I can forgive it because he was working on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which I also loved, and I still think that movie. But I like a movie that makes you think, like Inception made me think. That was a great movie. Interstellar is long, but it also made me think. It makes you cry. Doctor Strange, despite me having my little lukewarm thoughts on that movie, I will say that movie as well made me think. But I still don't love Doctor Strange as much as I do this movie. This movie is everything. This movie is great. It's virtual filmmaking at its best. Another problem I do have is Jared Leto. It was great seeing him play this blind character, android, and I say I love him in the movie for the most part, but just like in Suicide Squad, he is wasted here, and I'm not gonna blame David Ayer for the way. It's more like a Warner Brothers thing with Joker in Suicide Squad. Here, I wish he could have got more, but he is in a little Blade Runner 2049 shorts, and I will link those down below when I eventually upload this. But those are those are the few nitpicks I have. And another nitpick, again, like I said, the villain is fine, but she shouldn't have to be pandering out to SJW stuff. But I can forgive those flaws because if you're so invested into a world, like example, I'm invested into the world of Pirates of the Caribbean. Despite my liking my little mixed results on Pirates of the Caribbean and World's End, I'm invested in that world. I am invested in the Middle Earth franchise. I am invested of the Harry Potter franchise. You know that already because I am a long-time J.K. Rowling fan, and that was my childhood growing up. I'm invested into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Despite me not loving Doctor Strange and hating Iron Fist, and hopefully I don't hate Thor Ragnarok, I'm invested. If you can sit there and be invested for how long the movie is without complaining, you can have a good time enjoying the movie. And I think that's one of the reasons, that's the main reason why this movie is not doing too good at the box office right now. Is because people don't want to sit through a movie that makes them think. But if you, let me tell you something. Hold on, I got something for you. Alright, let me tell you something. Look, the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies are 3 hours. This movie is 2 hours and 46 minutes, which is 3 hours, nearly 3 hours. Even the ultimate cut of BVS is long, and the director's cut that I've seen of Watchmen is long. I will be watching the ultimate cut soon. Those are long, 3 hour long movies, and you people don't complain about those movies. So what makes this movie any different? Oh, it's boring. It doesn't have any action in it. There's too much talking. It's a character-driven story. It's not going to have a whole lot of action. If you go into this movie expecting a lot of action, you're not going to get it. Because this movie requires you to think. Just like the first Blade Runner. So, of course the movie... And we have a lot of things going on in this one, but it's not convoluted like Pirates of the Caribbean rolls in. It's not hard to get through like that movie. It's a simple story, but you get more great awesomeness into it. And this movie is 163 minutes long, but it's a darn great 163 minutes long. I will tell you something. If I want to sit through a long movie like Gone with the Wind and Batman vs Superman and Django Unchained and The Hateful Eights, I will sit through a long ass movie. I'm not bullcrapping you guys on that. So there you go. And I think it's just wrong that this movie's getting praised and not doing a whole lot at the box office, because this is a good movie. But yet, you people want to let the freaking Emoji Movie and Snatched get more money than this. No, that's not right. This movie hasn't gotten multiple sequels, and there's the director of this movie, he said if this one is successful enough that they plan on doing a third Blade Runner movie, and I want to see a third Blade Runner movie because this is a world that intrigues me. The future, I like movies that takes place in the future. I like movies that makes you think. If you can't deal with a movie that makes you think, then you just plain cannot deal with science fiction, because some sci-fi movies you ain't gotta have a whole lot of big action sequences. You can be a thought-provoking movie, and you can be really intriguing and really entertaining. And I think this people just needs to go. People just don't know what they want nowadays. I will see The Last Jedi, but I may or may not be disappointed with that movie. It determines. I will see Thor Ragnarok. Who knows? I might hate that movie. I might not. I'm giving Justice League a chance because I'm an optimistic guy. I'm willing to try new things. Even with Doctor Strange, despite me hating half of the in-between stuff, the first and last 15 minutes, the visuals, direction, acting, and stuff made up for it. And it helped make that movie a time waster. This movie, I'm giving this movie this movie is damn good. Is one of my new favorite sequels now. Is one of the best sequels out there, and considering how long this movie took to make, because this is Mad Max Fury Road but done in the future. And Mad Max Fury Road took 30 years to make. This took 35 years to make. And I'm glad they got Ridley Scott on as a executive producer, and you got a good director and script, and everything about this movie is just fantastic. If you have not seen Blade Runner 2049, go see this movie. You will not be. I know some people are not going to respond well to this movie. I know some people are going to say this movie's overrated and dull and boring and not enough action. I know some people like John Avenger 719A5 or my for YouTube friend Parker Smichael or Anthony Jenkins or Drum Dums. Harry Thomas, Mr. TARDIS 11, Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman, other YouTubers, they love the movie, and I have probably seen some friends who have yet. There are some of my friends and some people out there who has yet to see this movie. Give this movie your support. Give this movie more money. Go see it. You will not regret it. And if you were one of those people who didn't like the first Blade Runner, thought it was okay, watch this movie. You may like this movie, and because it takes more than one viewing for both of these movies to be fully invested. And I was invested. So Blade Runner 2049 is an amazing movie. It's one of my favorite movies 2017. I love everything about it, from the cinematography to the music to the sound design to the directing to the visuals. Everything in this movie is magnificent, and go see. You are not going to regret this. I'm going to give this movie the highest rating of all of the ratings that I've created specifically for my rating system. I did when I started this channel back in 2000 and when I was reinventing this channel back in 2014, I mean 2015, mid 2015, and when I recreated this channel back in 2016. This is a worthy movie. I'm giving this movie the highest of recommendations. Blade Runner 2049 absolutely, most definitely, and positively is going to get exclusively my Joshua Drake Rainbow Seal of Approval, because that is how much I really enjoyed Blade Runner 2049. It was fantastic. So guys, that was my review of Blade Runner 2049. I did not say a whole lot of spoilers in this movie, but this is a long review, and this is going to go in my Analyze Movie Review series, and I hope you guys go out and support this movie. Everyone in the US, everyone around the world, go see this movie. You are going to have a good time with it. So let me know what you guys think of Blade Runner 2049. Do you like it? Do you love it as much as I do? Do you think it's one of the best sequels out there? Do you think this movie's overrated? Do you think this movie's underrated due to box office numbers? Or did you not care for this movie? But the least you can do for those who are hesitant, give this movie a watch. And if you don't want to watch it in the theaters, wait for the Blu-ray. Wait for the Redbox rental. You can rent it from Redbox. This movie is magnificent. This movie is magnificent. So, that's all the praise I've given to this movie. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys later for more. And if you like this, you can come here and we can have a good time. And I'm definitely putting this movie and the original Blade Runner, which is the final cut. I'm putting the final cut version because I wanted the 4-disc to get the 4-disc collector's edition with all the versions, so I can see all of the multiple versions. But that one is a little expensive now. That one is a little expensive. Maybe if it goes down, I'll buy it. But for now, I'm just gonna get the final cut because it's got commentary and it's got a 3-hour documentary. And I will see you guys later. Bye, guys. go see Blade Runner 2049.